Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high as the Fed cut rates, Solana surges past $200, and is Cardano about to make a big comeback? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, this is not financial advice, and we wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. The market has finally turned green, and the Trump rally is here. The next year is going to be epic. Lock in your Altcoin Buzz Alpha yearly subscription for only $165. That's less than $14 per month. This might be your last chance to get an Alpha subscription at this price. Members have gotten real value for money with our best-in-class calls and Alpha. Get exclusive access to over 100 calls per month. That's 1,200 calls per year. Our calls include gem hunting, buy and sell calls, market reports and predictions, strategy discussions, Alpha and alerts, portfolio reviews, airdrop participation, and you can ask our researchers. But hurry, as limited seats are available. Subscribe by fiat or pay by crypto with the links down below. All right, good morning, you guys. Today we are starting off close to new all-time highs. We had briefly touched $77,000 as the Fed cut rates today by 25 basis points. So the Fed cut 25 basis points, and Powell says the Trump win has no effect on his policy. So as widely expected by market participants, the U.S. Federal Reserve lowered its benchmark Fed fund rate by 25 basis points to 5.5% to 5.75% on Thursday. And what this means is they actually print money to do this. And since earlier in the year, labor market conditions have generally eased, and the unemployment rate has moved up and remains low, according to the press release. The inflation has made progress towards the Committee's 2% objective, but remains somewhat elevated. At the same time, the Bank of England also cut rates by 25 basis points, while Sweden's Riksbank eased key interest rates by half a percentage point. So Fed Chair Powell, who spoke for the first time since Donald Trump's win in the U.S. election, said the election results have no effect on the Fed's policymaking in the near term, quelling fears of a hawkish surprise. So some observers have modeled the possibility that the new president-elect's proposed policies, such as tax cuts, tariffs, and deregulation to stimulate economic growth, could ignite inflationary pressures, prompting the Fed to take a more cautionary approach. But Powell said that the monetary policy is still restrictive, even with today's easing, but downside risk to economic growth has diminished since the Fed's September 50 basis point cut. So as the Fed cut rates, Bitcoin pumped and hit around, let's see, what was it, 70 almost $77,000, and we're just hovering right below it. The market is looking amazing, and there's actually a tweet I want to show you guys from this guy, Unipix, who's pretty good. And he says, China is about to introduce 10 trillion yuan, or $1.4 trillion worth of stimulus. Meanwhile, Chinese national TV is broadcasting this after the Trump win. It says, Donald Trump plans to make the U.S. the world's crypto capital and establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So this is going all over China and on their TV. What do you think the Chinese are going to do with them stimmies? Sometimes you just need to submit and not overthink things. So basically in China, they're showing that, Donald Trump is going to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. He wants to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, make it Bitcoin reserve, and everyone in China is now seeing this. So we could be seeing a continued pump from here on out. At the same time, whales are accumulating Bitcoin as always. Another 10 fresh wallets withdrew over 1,900 Bitcoin worth $145 million from Binance in the past 24 hours. So they're taking it off the exchanges, which means they want to hold for the near term at least. I mean, if we can get any kind of retest back down here, I don't know if we will because it's starting to be a bull market. If we can get any retest around $72,000, that's a great buy. It's probably not going to be that steep. If it is steep, it's going to be, very scary. It's probably going to be a fast wick down. So any retest around this area you want to buy because we are now breaking out of a 8-month range, and anything you can get, any position you can get at this point, anywhere around this 72 to 74 area is a buy. But yeah, Bitcoin looking amazing. We're probably going to keep hitting new all-time highs for November. Then we have altcoin season. Alt season is coming soon, hopefully. So Sheldon writes, get your altcoin bags ready. The last two elections before this triggered a mega bull market. This rally starts with a Bitcoin rally, then alts join the party. This is called alt season. As you can see the chart below, alt season gets triggered when the Bitcoin dominance chart collapses. The start of the previous dominance collapses happened around 2 months after elections. So alt season is just getting ready to leave the station. So 2 months after elections, so basically around January is when he says we may see the alt season start. So historically, in the past two elections, which were in 2016 and 2020, a couple months after, around 2 months after, we see the Bitcoin dominance chart here. And what happens is it falls off a cliff basically. And every time the market dominance of Bitcoin falls off a cliff, then altcoins have their season to shine. So I think what's going to happen is over the next couple months, we'll see Bitcoin continue to go up. It'll lead most things. Altcoins might not go up quite as much, but then once we hit January, we'll probably see a huge alt season. Mickey Bull had said pretty much the same thing where Bitcoin dominance had just experienced a local top, and the alt season should begin from November to March 2025. Tony says it's finally here, the alt season, pretty much the same market dominance chart. We have a period of a couple months after the election where we then see, we see this alt dominance fall off. So it looks like the alt season could be coming soon. From between now and January, we should see our altcoins finally start to catch a bid. Data storage is a hot item in the crypto sector. Arweave and Filecoin are leaders in this crypto corner. However, Mysten Labs, the team behind Sui, is launching Walrus. Walrus is a decentralized storage network and will accommodate Sui's unique storage options. But that's not all, it also welcomes all other chains. Walrus is now in its testnet, which also opens up the opportunity for potential airdrop. Walrus is a decentralized storage network, and Mysten Labs themselves are behind this project, and that's the same team that's behind the Sui network. The network will also have its own token wall, which you can expect on its mainnet during Q1 2025. The main reason for developing this new storage option is simple. Sui's current data replication model is inefficient. In Sui's current setup, all validators must duplicate their complete data set, and Sui currently has around 100 nodes. On the other hand, Walrus provides a 4 to 5 replication factor. As a result, it offers reduced storage costs. Unlike most blockchains which store data as records, Sui and its version of Move language store data as objects. This takes up more space as mentioned, but has other advantages built in. But Walrus will help make fast data access and availability easier on Sui. Now, since there's a testnet, there's a possibility that there's an airdrop, and we've got an article on ways you can get that airdrop, along with more info on Walrus, which I'll link down below. Then we have Solana hitting over $200 today as Bitcoin makes new highs. Solana has been on a run. There's not many coins that are outperforming Bitcoin and Solana. I mean, there are a couple coins outperforming Bitcoin, but Solana is just one that, I mean, look at this chart. This is the daily chart. It's just been up for like 5 straight days. We wanted to buy a pullback around 180, but I'm not sure this is going to happen at this point. We might just have a shallow retest somewhere around here. I mean, I don't know if we're even going to get as deep as 185 like we wanted. But yeah, Solana has just been on a run. So Solana climbed over $200 following Bitcoin hitting its new record high after Donald Trump's victory. The U.S. stock market echoed the rally, with the S&P 500 closing up 0.7% and the NASDAQ climbing 1.5%, both hitting record highs as well. So stock market, crypto, everything is just hitting new highs right now. Solana's rise is especially notable because it hasn't been at this price level for the last 7 months, and it recently overtook BNB to become the 4th largest cryptocurrency. Solana is still down 22.5% from its all-time high of about 260 in 2021, but some analysts at CNBC expect Bitcoin's record-setting price to keep climbing, with predictions of $100,000 before Trump's inauguration set on January. I had said this yesterday, so CNBC that said that. And so a lot of people are also thinking that Solana will probably hit around $1,000 this cycle, not before January, but this cycle. $1,000. A bunch of banks have said that. I believe Vanek has said that due to the ETF that potentially could now come out with the Trump administration. So we could see a lot of people become Solana millionaires this cycle. We've run from $7 to potentially $1,000, but even if we get to just $500, that's an insane run. If we got to $700, that's a 100x. So there's a lot of Solana millionaires, and just the meme coins and the coins that come from Solana in the Solana ecosystem, that will probably print a lot of millionaires as well. So Solana is one ecosystem that we're going to continue to watch the cycle, and it will probably be the main one. It'll be the Ethereum of last cycle. And so another boost of Solana came from Coinbase's announcement to bring Wrap Bitcoin, or WBTC, to the Solana blockchain, allowing users to access DeFi applications. And in October, Solana saw its highest ever monthly active addresses, over 123 million, driven by strong activity in meme tokens and DEXs like Radium, which saw over $30 billion in trading volume last month, according to DeFi Llama. So, like I said, with Trump's win, we hope that regulators there'll be a lot of deregulation, there'll be more favorable laws, and a Solana-based ETF will come out hopefully early next year, and hopefully send us to $1,000. Solana's looking amazing. I don't know how shallow or deep of a pullback we're going to get here. I would like to bid anything around 186 if we do get some kind of correction. but I'm not sure if we're going to at this point. We might just continue to pump. So we're gonna have to wait and see any red days. You don't want to FOMO yet. We've had just multiple continuous green days on Solana. So you don't want to FOMO here at the top and start buying. You want to wait for a couple of red days. I'm sure we'll get them at some point. Maybe over the weekend we'll cool off, something like that. But you want to be buying and you want to be bidding those red days when we do eventually get them. And then we have Cardano jumping 10% as whales awaken. So Cardano is finally coming back. It's jumped about 30% in the last few days. So it's starting to see a bunch of whale accumulation. So these whales or investors holding large amounts of ADA have started ramping up their activity, sparking excitement in other investors. So with ADA's recent price boost, the token has moved back to the top 10 cryptocurrencies, which is crazy, knocking out Toncoin from that spot. And it pushed it to over 42 cents. So in the last 24 hours, whale transactions involving Cardano have skyrocketed by almost 32%. And these whale transactions are trades worth over $100,000. And the total ADA transactions hit a value of $7.4 billion, translating to over 21 billion ADA coins changing hands. So Cardano has seen, huge whale activity in the last few days, pumping it up. But I will say we are coming into a bit of resistance. So we want to be careful here. Kind of like I was showing with the chart yesterday of Ethereum, we are coming into this major level of resistance after a week of very bullish news. So we want to be careful as we're coming up here. This isn't exactly where you want to start buying. Maybe you want to wait for a pullback to come down here to this 40-cent level if you do want to buy Cardano, or you want to wait till it comes and breaks through this resistance here and then comes back up, because it's going to either reject from here and come back down, or it's going to break through and then you'll have a retest here that you'll be able to buy. But you'll know that you didn't just buy the top when you're buying anywhere between 44 and 47 cents, because this is a big area of resistance that we need to flip to support before we do any bidding on Cardano. But I have a feeling we'll probably have a little bit of a pullback, maybe one of these days, maybe over the weekend, and we'll see alts, have a slight pullback, and that's where you want to be bidding these alts. But yeah, Cardano finally saw a little bit of movement. It hasn't seen a lot for quite a while. We've been down here in the low 30s, not looking too great. But Cardano, it does have big things coming. So if you are a Cardano fan, there is the Chang hard fork coming, as well as Cardano's new connection with the Bitcoin network. So you can now bridge Bitcoin over to Cardano, and you can use Bitcoin's DeFi. You can use Bitcoin for DeFi liquidity over on Cardano. But that's it for the video today, guys. We're at $76,000, new all-time high, $77,000. By the time this video goes up, maybe we're at new all-time highs. This is a great time to be in crypto, so you're going to be wanting to stay tuned. You're going to want to subscribe because we are just getting started this cycle, and it's about to be a lot of fun.